It comes from Mini. It's still the Cooper, but it's now got two very special names either side of it. This is the John Cooper Works hatch. And on the face of it, they have done it right. There's a little toggle over here which actually lets me go from, it helps me change driving modes. So it helps me go from green to mid to sport. Oh look, there's even a little go-kart symbol on the instruments to tell me that I'm in sports mode. Nice touch. But enough of that. Personal confession, big fan of Minis. Big fan. But this isn't just a regular Mini. This is a Cooper JC. Oh my god, just listen to that. That is why you spend a little bit more money and get yourself a JCW. The in-house tuning specialists, they make some really special numbers, and this one is so special. Okay, let's break this down. This still has a 2-liter petrol, but it now makes 231 horsepower and 320 Nm. I'll be honest, in this day and age, those figures are so. But when you combine it with as compact a car as this is, with something that weighs practically nothing, 1275 kilos, it's laughable really. But it's not just about the great power output. For me at least, a great amount of power and a great amount of torque to have any effect whatsoever on the fun to drive factor needs to be backed up by grippy tires, a great steering and a nimble chassis. In this regard, check, and check. There's absolutely no turbo lag to speak of, and it is so much fun to drive, and as I mentioned earlier, it just sounds majestic. 18 inches I'm riding on are so perfect for this flowing section of road I'm on. The chassis just dances to any tune you play it, and the steering, it's point and shoot, as simple as that. But it's not all good news. This 8-speed automatic transmission, for instance, it gets quite jerky once you're at regular speeds. It just doesn't like going slow. And I sincerely wish that this car came with adaptive dampers. Now, you can spec it as an option, but the car that Mini loaned me doesn't have it. Now, all that said, I would dearly love nothing more than to be driving on these smooth flowing roads all day long. But at the rate I'm going to burn through the fuel tank faster than I can say. It's how much for a liter of fuel now? Yeah, so let's just slow down for a bit. So, the JCW hatch. This is, of course, as you can tell, a 3-door, and it has about all the subtlety of a hand grenade. However, this is the 2021 update, and that means, well, very few changes on the outside. Those can be summarized as essentially a wider grille and these small yet noticeable vents right on the bumper. At the back, of course, just like the rest of the updated Mini range, you get these gorgeous Union Jack LED tail lamps. But here to steal the show, and the star of the show actually, is this beautiful little spoiler. As for the wheels, these are 18 inches. But here's the funny thing, these aren't actually standard. These are optional. Standard would be 17 inches. And that actually brings me to a really good point. So what I have here in my pocket is actually a little piece of paper with all the options you can spec the JCW with. And some of them are actually quite ridiculous. For instance, the exterior color, in Rebel Green especially, that's 60,000. The engine compartment lid stripes with white, black or JCW, 20,000. Panorama glass roof, 1,40,000. Adaptive suspension 85,000, TPMS 30,000, mini navigation system lakh and 25, Apple CarPlay 40,000. Fun does not come cheap. That said, there is a lot that you get for what you pay. For instance, there's this fantastic touchscreen infotainment system. It's now even bigger at 8.8 inches, and that's always a nice thing to have. And what definitely feels like you've got your money's worth is the fact that everything feels super premium in here. There's high-grade plastics, the damped aircon vents feel great, and the solid chunky switchgear is great to see. And I love the fact that there are so many physical buttons instead of the touch operator stuff that's now becoming kind of like the norm. There's even a wonderful sounding Harman Kardon sound system in here, and here's the surprising bit, the sports seats, they're actually really comfortable, even for someone with as big a frame as mine. My only issue comes here, which is why is Mini making me pay so much money for a car that still has manual adjustment for the seats? And as for the rear seats, well, that's best left for dogs or at a pinch for kids, and only for short journeys. But what did you expect? This is a Mini after all. Net, despite a few shortcomings, and I've always wanted to say this about a car, this car is one of those cars that just makes you want to work really hard so that you can just afford it, so that you can drive the living daylights out of it. This is not a car you buy with your checkbook. Oh god, this is gonna sound cheesy, but this is a car you follow through with your heart. It's as simple as that. This is False Momentum. I'm Ronak, and catch you soon.